What are the 8 AI automations any non-technical founder can actually ship? At least 5 of them need zero engineering, and the workflow automation market behind these tools is heading to $71 billion by 2031. So the question isn't really whether you can build them, which one you build first. Okay, so number 1, document summarization pipelines. This is, honestly, the simplest AI tool for business you can stand up, and it's the one almost everyone kinda underestimates. The shape's plain, right? A document lands somewhere, a PDF, a meeting transcript, some long email thread. A trigger fires. The text gets handed to a language model with one instruction. Summarize this into 5 bullet points and, flag anything that needs a decision. The summary gets dropped into Slack or a Notion page or, back into your inbox. That's the whole thing. And you build it in Zapier, Make, or Gumloop without touching code. You pick the trigger, you drop in an AI step, you write the prompt in plain English, you pick where the output goes. Make even ships this assistant called Maya that builds the scenario from a sentence you just type. The reason this works as pure no-code is that nothing here is a decision. The model isn't choosing what to do next. It runs one step, the same step, every time. That's the deterministic side of the line, and deterministic, that's where visual builders are completely at home. The catch is value, not difficulty. A summary of a document nobody was gonna read, that saves nobody any time, right? The win comes when you point it at something high volume, every support ticket, every sales call, every contract. So the 5 minutes saved multiplies. Build it for the pile, not the one-off. Number 2, structured data extraction. Same family as summarization, but instead of prose out, you want clean fields. Think invoices. A PDF comes in and you need the vendor, the amount, the due date, the line items, all pulled out and pushed into your accounting system as actual data, or a stack of application forms or receipts or scanned contracts. The job is, basically, turning messy documents into rows. NanoNets has done exactly this since 2017. No coding, and it starts with free credits before you pay as you go. Or you wire it yourself in Make, with a model node that reads the file and returns structured fields. This is one of the highest return automations on the list. Invoice and financial workflow automation has posted around 280% ROI with a 5-month payback. That's a Bassware figure cited by Black Cube Labs. Treat that as an upper bound. It comes from a vendor with skin in the game, but the direction's real. Manual data entry is expensive and error-prone, and this just kills it. The catch is accuracy under variety. A model reads a clean, standard invoice perfectly, but feed it 40 different layouts, a smudged scan, a foreign currency, a handwritten note in the margin, and yeah, extraction kinda drifts. So you need a review step for low confidence polls before the number hits your books. Build the human checkpoint in from day one. A wrong figure that flows straight through is worse than no automation at all. Number 3, email triage and routing agents. And here the line sort of starts to bend towards something that actually makes choices. So your inbox gets 100 messages a day. Some are sales leads, some are support, some are invoices, some are just noise. A triage agent reads each one, decides what category it is, and routes it. The lead goes to your CRM, the support question goes to the help desk, the invoice goes to the extraction flow you just built, the newsletter gets archived. And it can draft a reply for the ones it understands and leave the hard ones for you. You build this with Lindy or with Zapier's AI agents, both no code. And, okay, notice what changed from the first 2 items. The model isn't running one fixed step now. It's classifying, then branching, deciding which path each email takes. That's the early edge of agentic, where the AI makes a decision inside the running workflow instead of just helping you set it up. And that distinction, honestly, that's the single most important thing to understand in this whole space, and vendors blur it constantly. Plenty of tools market AI-powered automation when the AI only helped you configure a flow that then runs dumb, deterministic steps. Email triage is one of the first archetypes where the AI genuinely decides at runtime, and the no-code tools can still handle it, as long as the decision stays simple. The catch is the cost of a wrong call. Misroute a summary, no big deal. But misroute a furious enterprise customer into the archive folder and, yeah, you lose a deal. So keep the categories few and the confidence threshold high, and route anything ambiguous to a human. Narrow and reliable beats clever and, occasionally catastrophic. Number 4, lead research and enrichment. This is the one that kind of quietly funds itself, which is why it shows up in every founder's first AI automation agency pitch. So you have a name and a company, and you want everything else. Company size, funding, tech stack, the right contact, a personalized first line for the outreach email. Enrichment automation does that lookup and assembly for every lead, at volume, while you sleep. The standard no-code stack here is Clay plus Zapier. Clay pulls and enriches the data, Zapier moves it where it needs to go. A new lead hits your form, Clay fattens the record with a dozen data points, a model writes a tailored opener, and the whole thing lands in your sequence. Lead qualification and routing automation has shown around 210% ROI with a 10-month payback. That's a Salesforce figure. Again, vendor-sourced. Again, read it as the optimistic end. But the logic's unarguable. A salesperson researching leads by hand is the most expensive way to do the cheapest part of the job. The catch is data quality and, the law. Enrichment APIs guess, and a confidently wrong job title in a cold email reads worse than no email. And once you're scraping and storing personal data at scale, you're in consent and privacy territory that varies by region. So spot check the enriched records before they go out and, know what you're allowed to collect. Number 5, content repurposing pipelines. If you make content, this is the no-code automation that gives you back the most visible hours. One input, many outputs. You publish a blog post or drop a podcast transcript, and the pipeline spins it into a LinkedIn post, a thread, 3 short captions, a newsletter section, a set of pull quotes. One long thing becomes 10 distribution-ready things, automatically, in your voice if you prompt it right. Gumloop's built for exactly this. It's an AI native builder, designed from scratch for language model pipelines, rather than, ported over from old trigger action plumbing. So chaining several AI steps together feels natural instead of bolted on. There's a real founder story here. Someone ran Zapier for years to curate content and send newsletters, then moved most of it to Gumloop once they needed genuine AI agent support stacked on top. Make handles this too, if you're already living in there. The catch is the sameness. Run every post through the same prompt, and your whole feed starts to sound like the same beige model output, because, well, it is. The automation handles the mechanical reformatting beautifully. The judgment, which angle's worth pushing, what's actually interesting, that stays yours. Use it to remove the drudgery, not to outsource the taste. Number 6, customer support and FAQ agents. This is where the no-code ceiling first becomes kind of something you can feel. The pitch is obvious and good. A chat agent on your site that answers the same 40 questions your team answers all day. Where's my order? What's your refund policy? How do I reset my password? It deflects the easy volume so humans handle the hard stuff. The brief's got a small e-commerce team standing up their entire customer service operation in 3 days with a no-code agent builder, no developers. That's real, and it's the kind of result that gets people excited. You build it in Lindy or VoiceFlow. You feed it your help docs, you set its tone, you give it a few rules about when to hand off to a person. For frequently asked question deflection, yeah, it works well. But here's the catch, and it's the one the marketing never sets up honestly. These agents are excellent at the FAQ, and they just fall apart at the edge. The moment a customer needs something off script, a refund the policy doesn't cover, an order that broke in 3 different ways, custom logic the agent was never given, it either stalls or, makes something up. No-code support agents handle the common case and hit a wall on the exceptions. So the right build is a confident bot for the top of the funnel with a fast, clean handoff to a human the instant it's out of its depth. Promise it can handle everything, and yeah, you'll automate your way to angrier customers. Number 7, internal knowledge base question answering. This is the first archetype on the list that's genuinely low code, not no code, and the reason why is, honestly, worth understanding. The goal? An internal assistant that answers questions from your own documents, your policies, your specs, your past tickets, your wiki. An employee asks, where's the latest pricing for enterprise? And it answers from your actual files, with the source. Now this needs a technique called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. In plain terms, you can't fit all your company docs into a single prompt, so you chop them into chunks, convert each chunk into a vector, a string of numbers that captures its meaning, and store those in a vector database. When someone asks a question, the system finds the chunks closest in meaning to the question, hands just those to the model, and the model answers from them. That retrieval then generate loop is what stops the model inventing answers, because you're feeding it the real text every time. And that's why it crosses the line. You're standing up a vector store, tuning how documents get chunked, wiring a retrieval chain. You can do it in N8N, which now ships more than 70 dedicated AI and LangChain nodes, more than Zapier and Make combined, which kind of makes N8N the strongest of the big 3 for this kind of AI native build. N8N AI automation is open source and self-hostable, so it's also where founders go when costs bite. Or you skip the plumbing altogether and use a managed service like Vellum that handles the retrieval layer for you. The catch is that retrieval quality is the whole game, and it's fiddly. Chunk your documents badly, and the assistant pulls the wrong passage and answers wrong with total confidence. This is the point where a non-technical founder either learns a real new skill or, borrows an afternoon of an engineer's time. It's doable solo, it's just no longer point and click. Number 8, multi-step agentic workflows with memory and exception handling. This is the one that, as of mid-2026, genuinely needs an engineer. And being honest about that is, I think, the most useful thing this video can do. So picture an agent that owns a whole process end to end. It takes an inbound deal, qualifies it, books the call, updates the CRM, notices when a payment fails, retries it, escalates if it can't, and remembers the state of every deal across days and sessions. Multiple steps, real decisions at each one, memory that persists, and handling for all the ways reality kind of breaks. Lindy markets multi-agent collaboration. One agent qualifying, another following up, a third updating records, and the simple versions, they work. The deep version, though, does not assemble itself in a visual canvas. Why it's hard comes down to two things no-code tools struggle with: state and exceptions. State means the agent remembers what happened before and acts on it, across sessions, reliably. Exceptions mean every weird real-world case: the API that times out, the half-finished record, the customer who does something nobody anticipated. Writing the branching logic for all of that and making it not corrupt your data when something fails at 3 in the morning, that's reliability engineering, and there's no mature, purely visual tool that does it well yet. And this is exactly where most automation dreams die. MIT's NIST initiative found that only 5% of enterprise AI pilots make it to production. The thing that kills the other 95? It isn't the idea and it isn't the build. It's the prototype to production gap, the distance between a demo that works on a clean example and a system that survives real volume, real edge cases, and real failure. That gap is engineering, and pretending otherwise is, well, how founders lose months. So, okay, here's the map to take with you. 8 archetypes, 1 fault line. Everything from document summarization up through content repurposing is deterministic enough, or simple agentic enough, that you can ship it yourself in Zapier, Make, Lindy, Gumloop, or Clay with no code. And 84% of organizations already run on tools like these. So you're not on the frontier, you're, on the mainstream. Knowledge-based Q&A asks you to learn RAG or borrow an engineer. Fully stateful agents need real engineering, full stop. The decision that saves you, though, it isn't picking the right tool, it's picking the right target. Track your repetitive work for 1 week, multiply hours by how much each one hurts, and automate the highest volume, most error-prone, most visible task first. The build was never the bottleneck. Automating the right thing is. So start there, start no code, and migrate to the harder tools only when scale forces your hand.